The American Psychological Association has stated that we are living in one of the most stressful times in history. However, many also believe that we are entering what might be the modern equivalent of the Renaissance, a new understanding about ourselves, why we behave the way that we do, and how we can solve many of our most pervasive problems, such as poverty, chronic disease, mental illness, and violence. Some people call this new understanding the theory of everything. Much of what we know about this new theory is based on a study, most commonly known as ACEs. Here's what you should know about ACEs. ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. These are extremely stressful events that can happen to a child growing up. These experiences are so stressful that they can alter brain development as well as the immune system, increasing the risk of lifelong health and social problems in adulthood. From conception, each experience during each stage of our life determines our health and our happiness and our hope for our future. In the late 1990s, Dr. Robert Anda, an epidemiologist for the Centers for Disease Control, and Dr. Vincent Felitti, a preventative medicine doctor at Kaiser Permanente, published a research study that seems to explain the root cause of everything from obesity to liver disease to substance abuse and mental illness. Dr. Anda and Felitti asked over 17,000 people in the Kaiser Health Plan in San Diego about their health history and about their experiences growing up. The original study was comprised of mostly middle-class white American women with some college background. The study has since been replicated with larger cross-sections of demographics. They asked their patients if prior to their 18th birthday they had experienced physical or sexual abuse, if they'd been the victim of verbal abuse or witnessed others being abused, or if they had experienced emotional or physical neglect, if they had lost a parent due to divorce or death, or if they had lived with a parent that abused alcohol or drugs, or was mentally ill or incarcerated. Today, we know that 64% of people have experienced one or more adverse childhood experiences. In the original ACE study, 21% of all respondents were sexually abused as children. 19% grew up with someone who experienced mental illness, and 28% had been physically abused. We know that those that have experienced 4 or more ACEs prior to their 18th birthday have an increased risk of a number of different health and social problems, including stroke, heart disease, cancer, substance abuse, and engagement in risky behavior. Someone with an ACE score of 4 has twice the risk of heart disease and cancer. Someone with an ACE score of 5 has 8 times greater chance of being an alcoholic. And those with an ACE score of 6 or more, on average, die 20 years earlier. With every major problem they looked at in the ACE study, the risk went up for each additional adverse experience in childhood. In schools, we are seeing the impact of ACEs on our students. Children who've experienced 3 or more ACEs are 3 times as likely to have academic failures, 5 times as likely to have attendance issues, and 6 times as likely to exhibit behavior problems. What is critical to note is that all behavior is a form of communication, and that many children and adults are experiencing high levels of toxic stress. Toxic stress is the result of powerlessness, plus overwhelm, plus isolation. And while post-traumatic stress is a real thing, so is post-traumatic growth. All across the nation, educators are beginning to understand the science behind ACEs, and they are using it to make changes for themselves, their school communities, and the families that they serve. They are doing this through a process referred to as becoming trauma-informed, which understands that our brains are wired to heal through meaningful relationships. We call this process building resilience, which created through strong connections with a caring, supportive adult that says, I see you, I hear you, I am with you.